Hi everyone and welcome back to the grand final of the PGL CSGO Championship Series. I'm Richard Lewis, I'm here with the mighty Thorin and of course Natu on the end there, smiling, loving it. I thought you were going to have the shades on for this one. This is the moment of potential glory for TSM. So we're going to go into the map Dust2. Obviously they're 2-0 in a best of 5, so Fnatic now need to win every map if they're going to come back and win this tournament. Natu's already said just before we went to the break that he thinks TSM's going to take this map. You have a different view, Duncan.
Yeah, here's the thing. If it was at the beginning of the series and you'd asked me like what will happen when we get to Dust2, I'd have said of the maps in the pool, Dust2 is the one I would have given to TSM. Like I actually thought Fnatic's going to win, but it's going to be 3-1. Like well 3-2 actually. I just technically was TSM the map up. I would have given Dust2 to TSM. Now, the issue I think here is, first of all, Fnatic's back's against the wall, so if they're going to play well, it has to be now. In terms of TSM, it's not that they're going to choke, but the fact that they're 2 maps up, in a sense, mentally, it is hard to stay super focused and just win all the maps in a row. So if there's any sort of a letdown in that particular respect, I would expect it to happen now, actually, when there's still a lot of time left you can afford to lose one now. Maybe you're not going 100% at it because you kind of feel like you're almost there, and if we don't get it now, we'll get the next one. So I think the 2 factors combined, Fnatic have to play great, TSM don't necessarily. I actually think that Fnatic can win this map. I'm going to say they're going to.
Okay, interesting. Natu, you've been in obviously finals and you played LAN tournaments for many, many years. What's it like when you know that even if you win one map, you've still got to go one more and then one more, you know, when you're really up against it? What's it like psychologically?
You just try not to think about it, to be honest with you. You just approach every single round as an individual one, every map as an individual one. You have a game plan for it. It is a battle of the minds, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Do you think Fnatic have that mental
They
resilience?
do. I mean, they're a championship level team. They've won a lot of championships. They've been there with their backs against the wall plenty of times. So if anyone, I think Fnatic is on my list, on my short list of teams that would come back in any type of a situation, to be honest.
And they're also one of those teams where they even will win series when they lose the first map. It's not like they're the team, like some teams have to win that first one, otherwise they're going to be crushed in the second in terms of confidence, or if they win the first one, then they have to edge it on the third. Fnatic's a team who I think are pretty good at mentally resetting. Like if they choke now, if they play badly on this map, I don't think it'll be as a result of the Mirage game. I think it'll be its own unique entity. That's also why I don't go from the angle of like, oh, well, since Fnatic's facing the elimination, they'll be the ones really nervous, and then they'll be like, oh, we should have won the last one. I actually don't think that will be an issue with them. I think it's one of the things that they're better at. Actually, in general, it seems to be the Swedish competitors seem to be a bit more even keel about that stuff. It doesn't seem to mount up on them as much.
Yeah, I think, well, nowadays, I think teams should be smart enough to know that when that map is over, that you've just lost, you go, you know, you chill for 10 minutes. Your captain says, all right, let's forget about it. People want to talk about it. It's usually people like, oh, what happened in that situation? What happened on that round? Yeah. Forget about it. It doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past. We got to look to the future. We're going to think about, all right, what are we going to do in the next map? How are we going to approach it? What kind of pistol strat we're going to run? Yada, yada, yada. What's our game plan? So I'm pretty sure, if anyone, they're cut out for the job.
I also think, just as a final point as well, just looking at the way Fnatic lost, like TSM's side of things, if they can do that again, obviously they have a very good chance to win this map. But on the Fnatic side of things, I wouldn't gamble on JW having just no impact again for 2 maps in a row, especially like we're saying, another map where he can use the AWP, he can be effective, he can be around that catwalk area. I think the odds are, you know, like we regress to the mean a bit, his average level goes up, and we see the old JW we're used to seeing now.
Yeah, well, you read my mind. I was just going to bring that up. We talked a little bit about Device before we went to the break and the importance he can have on this particular map. It is his playground. Are we looking at JW for Fnatic? Is that our player pick that you think, you know, he's the guy that needs to put the team on his back right now?
Yeah, him together with Olofmeister, I feel like those 2 guys are huge for them, and I think they need to bring A++ game up here.
I'm going to go with Olofmeister as the guy I think can win it for Fnatic. Because the thing is, since his skill set is so broad, it's not like he's just good in this one area, this one thing. It means he has so many. He reminds me of when Shox was in his God mode at the end of 2013, early 2014, because since they're so complete as players, they can win in all types of situations. It's not like you have to get him into the late game in a clutch scenario, or he has to be the entry flagger. He can win it in many, many different ways, and so that's why he's such a dangerous player. We saw some signs of that on Mirage. I don't think we've quite seen like the Katowice level Olof yet, though, in terms of this final.
Okay, well, look, guys, without any further ado, we're going to find out if this is the moment of truth for TSM or whether Fnatic are going to start mounting a comeback. Thanks a lot for your thoughts. We'll be back after it, but now we're going to go to the game. It's Dust2, it's TSM, it's Fnatic, it's the grand final. Take it away, Sadie Kist and Toby 1.
Thank you very much. Yes, welcome back. Map number 2, Fnatic versus TSM. We're on Dust2 now. We're on Dust2.
And I kind of agree that coming into this, I would have said that was their best chance for a map as well. They've played really well on it all weekend. Thorn did make a good point. Fnatic's come back from situations like this. You go back to ESEA LAN in December, not the most recent one, the Season 17 LAN in December, and they actually came from the lower bracket against VP, had to win 2 best-of-3 series. Not only did they win 3 maps that day in a row, they won 4. So they can do it. There's no question. Fnatic has the composure and the skill to do it, but
the question is, can they do it on
Dust2?
Dust2? Like, this has been a great map for TSM so far.
And the fragile point, one of the main things is that a lot of teams have been continuing to try and get in toward the catwalk against TSM as we are going to get into the knife. It's been shut down because of Xyp9x play. Did they finally go to open? I'm going to go ahead and do this because it's the last one. It might be our last one. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a speed cast because I'm kind of sad. This might be the last map we have with PGL. It's been a great run, but now they're going to go back in. KB wants to get it started. Come on, guys. Let's go. I don't want to jump start. Look at how timid they are. Now, Dust2 doesn't matter as much, I will say, for the knife, but finally someone going to go in and try and get some damage in. It's already Kerrigan. Actually, that's a team kill because Device tried to go back into JW, already caught off a guard on his teammate. Kerrigan makes good work in return, and that's JW caught, and just as fast as that, they took forever to line up, but they put him down all quickly in the end, and it's Crims to close out on Dupree. What's the call going to be?
To stay. The call is to stay. So Fnatic don't want to go anywhere. They're going to stay on the CT side and let TSM try and come into their killing zone. And we'll see if Fnatic can do what they didn't really show they could do on Mirage, that ability to hold the defense and keep the rotation nicely. And it's going to be so much more important here on Dust2 as well. How well do you control either, well, I actually just want to say mid and catwalk, that should be the primary focus here. Would that actually be the focus? Is that where TSM are going to be punching in? Or are you more worried about long A and potentially upper dark?
The debate comes down to how they open up. I'm more worried about how Fnatic finds a way to open up TSM's defense. TSM, again, have looked very good on their T-sides on this map, but Fnatic has a lot more ability to pull out the double up setup. We did see Nip actually go for it yesterday. Forrest used it quite well inside the B site. And that slowed things down for TSM. It was the comeback late for them, which we don't often see from TSM, that actually gave them that win. So if Fnatic can get out to that early lead, there's a better chance for them than perhaps Nip had yesterday that they can hold it. What a shot through the smoke.
That was just a gander guess. And he manages to find the perfect header device, realizing where they're coming in now, playing from that back box on Plat. And TSM have taken so much damage coming into the side. Olaf and Crims teaming up together. At least Dupree getting close before he's going to lose his life, but the pistol round is over and Fnatic will take the first round. But we have seen this before.
We have. Well held, though, first and foremost, by Crims on the backside of the platform. Not only gets those opening shots, but stays alive, and Dupree rushed right past him. He got desperate and tried to take out the players in window. Instead, still got caught off in the end.
Oh, Fnatic now in for the buys.
And importantly, did pick up 1 rifle, because again, Nip went for that 5 SMG buy on this map, didn't have the distance to work with. Interestingly, though, they're putting the rifle in a close quarters position at B site, not towards long A. So to compensate for that, it's a double push.
As the players actually want to try and pause the game, it's the Starlighter closing ceremony, which is currently vibrating the entire floor for them.
How rude, Dota.
Yeah, so they're going to get him to turn it all down now. As TSM just got to play this a little bit slower. Fnatic trying to prepare themselves up, making sure that Fnatic, well, they can't just easily just mow them down this pistol round. Pop smoke. There's Pronax. He's trying to make a little bit more noise. He's backing up, but the main push has come in already through Catwalk. They've called for more help. A flush with the P90, finding 3 of them. Just praying, and the prayer is answered. 3 players down. There's a 4th going for the plant. He can't do it. He was coming in for the knife. Didn't want to walk into the fire, but either way, they wait for the fire to dissipate. And Fnatic have a flawless round.
Slight victory, though. Do get the bomb plant down. Didn't successfully do so in the first round. This time, well, of course, they did force into that round, but they still actually have reasonable economy. That's the interesting thing here. So what do they want to do? Do they gamble early and try and pull these out? They do. Here we go. Already into the AK's 4100 to start things off for Kerrigan. He could easily pick one up as well, and then it's Galil's to support it.
All right, so we get to unpause and start into our next round. 3rd round for it in TSM.
And this is interesting because based on the buy, we'll wait and see what's going to happen. We're actually just going to wait for this.
Yeah.
This sound issue coming from the adjacent stage, the Dota stage, but this is interesting. And they actually, by forcing this out, have the better buy because as of right now, Fnatic haven't upgraded. So this may catch them off, but they have to find the opening picks. If they start dropping bodies far too soon, Fnatic will swarm them because they have that movement mechanic of the SMGs to work with.
I think that's the greatest shot call I've seen in a long time, Dupree. Quality. Quality. Don't worry, Valve are going to start putting in a full $1 million there, the $250,000 for all CSGO majors, right? Right?
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Volvo, please.
Yeah. Give more money. Give more money. All right. Sounds like it's done, so we're good to unpause. Match gets to go live as the countdown will begin. And we'll see if Fnatic... actually, I want to see if... I don't even want to say, like, we'll see if Fnatic can get a couple of rounds on CT side. We'll see if they can stop TSM from getting a lot of momentum on T side. Is the bigger question for us. Because with TSM walking around with a 3 AK Galil P90, right, they push in quickly. Device, there is a Molotov behind him, so Device will have to come up here by himself.
Late smoke from his team, but that does actually help him, but Olaf's already pushed up.
Wow.
Good information and a bomb down. Canceled out immediately, but now they know they have guns, so they'll play more passively and get into better positions to support that catwalk, though. JW, SMG up close, full advantage on Cajun B.
You thought they might be playing passive, but then all of a sudden there's two players running down through that catwalk stairway.
Flusha fell, though. He actually fell. That was a late rotation because we saw them with a double peek at long A, and they might have actually been able to win that fight if it weren't for that smoke coming out the very last second. But this is an interesting rotation right now from Fnatic.
Yeah, they actually hold the players off the site, so Device and Kerrigan, they're going to move slowly up here, checking every single corner. But it's almost like Fnatic are getting themselves in more of a position for a retake.
Dupree needs to hope for one to help them out. That flash is going to catch him. He's completely blind and helpless. They'll walk to the site. But again, they went for this early buy. They've already lost 3 of the AK-47s. Device does pick up that from us, so they still have 2 rifles, but this is a really hard position to hold right now. Not a lot of post-plant positioning. Kerrigan stuck up on Goose. Device does go for the first shot, does do decent damage, but still a player comes from above as well. Does he find the first? No, JW already down, and Kerrigan is in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he's been surrounded on all sides. Flush with a P90 will wrap it up, and Fnatic will get 3 rounds back-to-back, not falling to this TSM buy round. And they'll hold on to the 3 AKs as well as the P90 will be their guns for the next round. While Olaf, how much money are we actually looking over on him? 6.3K. If they want to, we could be looking at the AWP as well being purchased. In fact, there it is, straight from Olaf. So TSM with pistols, they're going to have such a hard time playing this range game. And again, Flush at the top fragger for Fnatic.
Yeah, man, he's coming on extremely well today, that's for sure, as opposed to a bit of a lackluster performance throughout the tournament. But as Thornton pointed out in between games, it was JW who was down at the bottom. If he can come alive, remember, they're going to go all out on this map. If he can start to come alive, they'll have a chance. Flush is going to find Cajun B already, and yet another P90 kill for him.
Yeah, Cajun B didn't stop for anything. He walked over the fire, he walked through P90 spray, he walked through with flash, couldn't see anything. JW battling from on long A. He's still trying to look behind him, waiting for that extra play to push up, and wants Kerrigan. The bomb plant will go down here, so I suppose TSM in a way they do get something out of it.
Hold off that defuse, grab that op. They did actually get Olaf because he was on his way out of A. He was going into CT spawn to go toward middle, so the pistols actually got the advantage on him. But look at that. That's the second time we've seen Flusha over top of that box with the P90.
And the accuracy is working for him. Say it's working for him. He's just controlling and pulling down, but P90 working almost like a ranged rifle. Fnatic, they give it up now. They push in for the M4. So a full normal weapon round for Fnatic. The only thing they don't have is that double AWP, but with the cash they've got behind them, Fnatic have the next 2 rounds at least with full buys, even if they lose 4 or 5 weapons here. And TSM also with that ult from Device. Unable to find that pick down middle, even though Olaf getting very aggressive, pushing him through the doors almost in front of Cajun B. He took damage for it, but still stays alive.
Now they need to slow this back down. Good damage to Olaf that time, down to 17. He'll fall back as a result, so they have to change things again. Pulls Flusha a little bit closer, weakens potentially Pronax's position. And there's 2 players pushing onto this smoke. JW is going to be extremely careful. He actually wants to get close to it in case they try and flash through as well. But again, that's a bounce flash. That doesn't go that deep, or does it? It goes right past him. So it actually does go deep enough, and he catches both as a result. He just has to spray on the choke point. Pronax now finds Cage and B, and there's no openings right now for TSM.
As again, they look for the timing entry, pushing players in through Cat while going in through Long. But as you said, JW able to get in front of that flash. And there's just no extra vision. Device, however, he's the last man standing, bomb in hand, AWP in hand as well. Throws out the flash, looking for the quick plant. The chance of him holding on to this AWP is pretty low, but maybe he can bring a couple with him. Can't get the first shot. He needed that one too. It'll be Crims to drop him. So Fnatic, 5 rounds in a row, but I've heard this record play before.
Fnatic do definitely look a lot more on with their shots right now, though. We saw Crims over top of the box. I mean, just a simple shot with the AK. JW, though, just barely in front of that flash. I mean, there's a chance that flash, unlike others, Inferno, let's say, top banana when you flash through, there's a chance that one doesn't go as deep because you've got to get it right through the narrow crack on the double doors. If it even hits one of the doors gently on the way by and deflects a little bit, it's not going to go that deep.
Yeah, but in this case, JW was counting on TSM actually being proficient at the throw. Now they actually push. Wow, okay. Again, they were aggressive before and Device waited for it. So JW gets snapped out in the top of mid. Normally, you're only expecting one player to come up there. I had the AWP behind them so they can have a peek into lower dark in case TSM were running what was really more the common play for this tournament for Dust2 T side, to run the 3 or 4 up through dark and then down through lower, control up mid from there and then into CT, in through Cat.
Pronax, though.
He thought he had that checked. Zipnix came to check it, but Pronax is going to claim both of the top players.
This does open up the B side a little bit because Pronax is well and truly out of position, but Crims is still there. They'll smoke him off. Molotov on the window as well. This gets them in position to get the plant down, but watch out because look exactly what Crims is doing. Jumping above, wants to get vision. Already spots up Dupree, but he responds. Perfect headshot.
Pronax is too far away.
Way too far away. And with 15 HP, they've got lots of money. What does he want to do? Look for exits? Not even. He's going to bow out and head off toward the pit.
Potentially, you could say, but I'm a little bit more worried about Flush's cash pool. Like sitting at 4K, it's going to start to drain him soon.
Sure, I mean, and Olaf is there as well, but you've got 2 players in the 5 digits. In fact, he goes for the op. He runs over, grabs the op, so not only will he save that, he's going to try and use it on the angle for these exits.
They're not going to go his way. They're both going to move back out through upper dark. So TSM, first round on the board. It took 6 rounds to make it happen. But Fnatic get 5 before TSM at least can make a dent.
A little bit quicker response this time. It was 6-0 and then 7-1. This time it's 5-1. TSM need to find these openings. Fnatic have to fall off this aggressive play, but they're potentially not going to. Okay, I thought Olaf was going to go through again. He doesn't. Just checks it on the cross. But 3 already over, and Crims got tagged up on the way across as well from that op shot through the door from Device.
Yeah, so he's not a healthy man, but he's still got nades and flashes. Going to use them now just to keep upper dark clear. Actually bringing a lot more players over from Fnatic there too. JW going to team up with Crims and allow Olaf. He's hovering around the boxes area. Concerned about mid. They just try and play from a position of advantage. Up the hill and away from TSM's flashes and smokes and grenades. And the time starts ticking away. We passed the minute mark. They're running out of smokes too. Only got 3 more smokes and 1 flash available for TSM. Not that much to play with. And that 1 smoke's probably going to be looking to block off the CT spawn. And in fact, yep, there it comes in. Olaf realizes the play, turns his back for the flash at the same time. It's the flash going on to TSM. They bring down Cage and B. Olaf's got 6 bullets left inside that clip. Just enough to kill off Device. And very quick revenge kills.
Smoke holds it off. They're through as well, so Flusha doesn't have vision yet. And they've already crossed the wall, so he won't get it when he pushes on. And that means JW down does give them a good bomb position. And again, Pronax was all the way out toward long A, so lagging behind. Kerrigan needs to be careful trying to establish this presence, though, because Pronax wasted 0 time. The Nike's firmly tied. He's already there. But Kerrigan catches him.
TSM, back-to-back rounds. Fnatic can't allow this to happen again. They're already 2 maps behind. 1 more map will win this for TSM. And it looked good with Olaf getting these initial hits and your ability to hold the upper dark as well.
The important part is if you're going to push through on something like mid as a team. You call that you're going through, you go through together. Because if he gets those two and they don't trade it out in numbers, they have no chance. Once they open up that mid, they had it smoked off. Even though they're a man down, they've effectively given themselves still a man advantage on the take, which was the B site.
JW's hoping to find Device. They've been having this mid battle for a while. Switching out the players of Fnatic, though, who have been battling against Device. JW still wants to make sure these mid doors belong to Fnatic. And there's his first peek. Fires the shot, but no hit.
Tried to flash through for KGB as well. He just got into CT in time.
Gonna throw the molly to stop the mid doors push, but this seems more like distraction than anything else.
This is exactly the play we were talking about against Happy when Fnatic played against Envious. Just throwing out that one smoke, even if you don't commit to the B take, does make your player in CT second guess himself. Unfortunately, he's on the back side of it, so he's already rotated back over to the A site. JW is going to shift back down, though. There's still an opening here. If Flusha doesn't hit the shots on the way in, then Pronax has to fall back, and Xyp9x is still lurking on him. This becomes awkward, and JW would be the man that then has to do a whole lot more work than he would want to in that case, and here they come, they're already in.
Yeah, Flusha already able to take out one, playing for the boxes, delaying up the plant. The flash will be there, buying him the space to move up again. Finding two, finding three, the nade coming in two with the help from Pronax. He does the long as well.
Perfect.
And Fnatic, they stop the TSM momentum, the most critical thing here.
Yep, Flusha gets those kills. JW's easy walk up to support. In fact, Xyp9x didn't even lurk out quick enough, so Pronax got to fall and contribute, even though that wasn't his responsibility at that point. It's 6 now for Fnatic, like you say, and back to pistols right now on TSM's side.
Yeah, and they need to make sure they can get, I don't know, just a couple, even if they take the rifles away from Fnatic, you've still got, yeah, a decent amount of money there for the next round. JW missing that first shot. It's a little bit of information. Hits it on the second time, so Device will go down. Looks like even a second pick. KGB looking through the doors for the third one for JW as the pistol's running at him, so they're going to get the AWP in hand. The Deagle, but Olaf shuts it all down. No more joy to be had. Olaf will pick up that AWP and hold on to it, and Xyp9x down for the count. Effective round for Fnatic and TSM. They at least drop one weapon from JW, but that is all.
And keep in mind, over those last 2 rounds, they lost one body in all of that. So this is building a buffer back into their wallet. 7,400 for Pronax. Everyone else is post-buy at 35, 53. This is looking very good on their side. And we will see the AWP come back out for Device. Dupree doesn't have a whole lot to work with, though. He's stuck with just the P250. And they're going quickly. They need to watch out, though, because Olaf's got the aggressive in behind them, so Dupree has to catch that lurk player. Luckily, Device is still in a position to do it. Here comes the take. Crim's forced out of the site. Now they can try and get a fast plant and get positions, but there's Olaf. He actually caught Device.
Yeah, he caught him behind, which means now Fnatic and TSM, they know they're being attacked from multiple angles. Crim's made sure he stayed alive, got out of that side as quickly as he possibly could so they can play for just the retake. Now he's back into the corner, but that's the one position the TSM is not sitting in there. In every other position, Xyp9x waiting for the player to run through the smoke. He knows Olaf's still behind, but Olaf wants the smoke to wait out, so then he can look in with the AWP. Now in they come. Already the trade-off is going the way of TSM for the moment. In fact, they're going to hold it. Olaf, the last man left alive. The bomb is still ticking down. He brings down Carrigan, but he's out of time. This will be the round for TSM. Both players will end up saving the AWPs, but Fnatic, it's now 7-3 on the board. They do hold the advantage for now.
And again, even though they lost that round, keep a man up, keep the AWP, still have the money working for them, and they do massive damage to TSM. So despite winning that round, they're still extremely strapped for cash. They'll get 2 AKs out, and it's KGB's turn this time. Okay, so he forces to a Galil, but this time to be the broke man and have to play from behind. And again, look at this aggression.
Yeah.
Fnatic are being relentless. They're already up. Good news is this time they're not going to get caught, or do they? JW's up. That's the first one down. Do respond into Olaf. He's the guy at the top of middle, but that's your bomb as well. So JW, 2 immediate picks on lower.
Yeah, and this means that the B side, he saw the bomb. He saw the bomb. So they know where that plan is, or where the plan is meant to be going. But TSM, they're cut in half now. You had Xyp9x. Yeah, he killed off Olaf up mid, but that revealed out the players' positions. And where does TSM even want to go from here? You're up against AWPs, up against M4s. And you're up against an extra player.
And they had an AWP to start that round. If they know Fnatic's going to continue to be aggressive and that trend continues, just sit and T-spawn. Make sure he doesn't push through. Yeah, they're going to potentially smoke it to lower, but they won't get all the way up as a result like Olaf did.
Carrigan got that all back into their hands.
Zipnix has to pull everyone off here, control the rotators, and let Dupree and Kerrigan go to work. He's already doing the job. That's Flusha caught, but the entry's slowed down. Crims has one, and they can't find him yet. He's playing in behind the boxes. Finally, Dupree does.
But the damage is really done to Dupree. He'll go down. JW with a quick reload. Zipnix trying to take advantage of it. He is on the site with a bomb. 2-on-1. Can he level the odds? He's got flashes, smokes, and already taken out 2 kills for this round. Feeling pressure on both sides, and he's walking. He's right next to him. They actually walk past each other. The ship's in the night. The flash up, and then they walk back out the window, and JW, the captain of Fnatic, will ensure the next round here for them as they go 8 rounds to 3.
It's almost too bad he didn't have more time there, because when he walked past him, I'd just run to A, but he only had 12 seconds, so then it became actually a disadvantage because he gave the site back up, and it's extremely hard to come into a site without support of a teammate already either distracting one at an off angle or getting a flashbang in. And yeah, you just pointed out it. Cajun B yet to contribute to this game, still on 0 kills.
Just no joy for him. It's worse than JW.
He needs to get rolling too, because it's him with the op on the CT side that's been the man to watch.
Well, then again, that bang through the wall. The Molotov's down as well. JW knows there's a couple of players there. And the support up from Cat. Well, actually, no, sorry, from the side of him. That was Olaf. Switching back over towards the pistol. He actually just grabs the weapon, pistol through the doors. But this is still an okay round for TSM. You brought down 1. You're keeping him distracted. JW for more spam. He's down to 38 HP now. And all he wants is the M4s, realizing TSM are on eco.
Pronax out at long, default spot for him. That's an easy pickup. Catches Device, the low HP player, directly in the crack. He'll fall back and actually gets caught by Zipnix, so chance to grab a gun, but Flusha's already in position, goes for the peek and easily catches him off with the AK. Just has to worry about this plant going down. Flash does go over, but Kerrigan's going to put the bomb in.
Flusha found one of the heads of Cajun B. Needs the last one, which is Kerrigan. No rifles for Kerrigan, so he's only got this pistol to play the battle, and it's not going to happen. Flusha with a fire superiority. And they go 9 rounds to 3. They're waiting up a little bit of time. Okay, JW did find the AWP, so Fnatic are still very happy with the situation here on the CT side. 9 rounds to 3, getting more than they did on Mirage. And on a map which I know we're favoring, TSM. This is, of course, just the start of it.
Well, they've already got more rounds this half than they did on the first half of Mirage. And it's the CT side. Again, TSM, they're the ones that have been getting decent rounds on T-side. Remind you, it was 11-4 at halftime against NIP yesterday, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, but that was on some huge individual performances from, again, Cajun B, we made mention, who hasn't really contributed yet in this game. This time they try and push past those smokes that are on the corner. Counter flash comes out, so Dupree just spams away and has to fall, and Olaf, look at the damage already dealt on a Cajun B. 2 for him, that's all he's got left in the nade. That nade was almost max range and still kills him.
I don't know if he's a fan of Andre Agassi, but that was just a nice little lob over the mid. JW already able to find Kerrigan. Pronax has a small hole inside the smoke. He finds Zipnix. Gun pulling bullets to the right. And now it's all up. Device can't get the kill. He tags Flush it down to 12, but no joy. They know he's the last man left alive. He's at least able to jump down and kill off Olaf. But the tags through the mid doors again. Looking for more and can't find it. JW finishes him with a pistol. 10 rounds to 3 as we go into our second last round of the first half.
And now they need to settle because, again, the money isn't going their way. They've broken up the money bonuses. Aside from the very start when they had the 5 rounds against them, they've broken up the money bonus at exactly the worst possible time because it's never really played an impact. They'll go for these Tech 9s, though, so we'll see if they can get some aggression working in their favor because right now it's been all Fnatic, who seem almost angry in the way they're playing for giving up map 1.
TSM, it's YOLO long time. They saw it coming, and look at the nades, the flashes. The fire was already down there from JW. Olaf will kill off Kerrigan, so there's no flanker anymore, and Flusha. Oh, wow! Okay.
Talk about spray control.
How do you even walk through that?
Apparently you don't, that's for sure. Apparently if Flusha's holding mouse 1 so far in this game as he did with the P90 at the start, you just don't go anywhere near him. Look at that. And the unfortunate part was they were lined up when they first came around the corner. Even though they're quite staggered in distance, because of the angle, they're quite lined up, and there was damage dealt early to both of them, so it took a couple stray bullets to close them off.
Well,
I call them stray. They were obviously quite controlled, but
yeah,
through the smoke no less.
Nades and smokes, keeping Dupree out from upper dark. JW getting a glimpse of Zipnix, who's just trying to get his hit off with the scout. JW going to be overrun shortly if he's not too careful. That's why he throws down the Molotov and bangs through the wall, trying to catch Karrigan as he was jumping back into lower dark. Dupree at the same time tried to actually exit through upper dark and got killed off by Olaf.
And they haven't found anything. There's no opening. I mean, they've tried to go up catwalk. Every time they do, Flush is taking them down. It's actually been a reasonable chance to get in there, and a lot of the positioning from Fnatic, but Flush's individual play slows them down. Now they're discouraged to go there. It's JW. He's already on the doorstep, so they're going to try it, but they've got a double man set up. Oh, JW just falls off, and again, there's Flush. There's your 2.
Yep. It's a perfect crossfire. And Flush is going to wrap it up. He's had himself a fantastic half. 22 kills for 5 deaths here. And more importantly, Fnatic got what they needed. It was 12 rounds for 3 in the first half. After having what happened to them on Mirage, they needed some confidence booster. This is it.
I mean, it just goes to show the composure. Like Thorin said, they're going to do everything possible. We saw aggression from them, even more than what we normally see, up those mid pushes from Olaf. JW's also firing well. We talk about Flusha on 22. JW's on 19. So those 2 players were massive. And like I said, there was no openings for TSM. Positionally, it looked like Cat was their best chance, but it was just individual skill that annihilated them every time they tried. It was 11-4 yesterday between NiP and TSM. Dust2, same sides we just saw. TSM pulled that back, but it was close rounds that relied on Zipnix and KGB to basically use each other to perfection on the catwalk holds. First things first, Fnatic, not necessarily a team that goes catwalk quite as much. They play the early pick game a lot more. And second things, they're 1 more round behind, so if they lose this pistol, it's already going to be that much further and too far out of reach.
Well, it's time to get started again. The countdown's already begun, so the round switch time is here. And Fnatic, we'll see if they're capable of getting this early pistol round, get the momentum up against TSM, and more importantly for them, bring it to 2 maps to 1. That's what Fnatic is searching for. But we're live, and let's get it underway.
And we are going to see a bit of an investment from Fnatic. No surprise, Olaf's going to go for a Tech 9.
With the armor as well. Let Pronax be the man running in. He's only got 1 smoke for him. Being tagged up quite heavily, trying to bang through the mid doors. Small making space for Olaf to walk around. He's the flanker. In fact, TSM quite heavily committed to the mid and the B side. Well, they watch long A. So they give up control over on catwalk, but that just allows him with Zipnix and Karrigan to try and do a retake. Karrigan, he wants information more than anything else with this push out.
Yeah, but this is not the place to get it right now. That's the problem.
Well, maybe it is. Fnatic, depending on their timing, he's aiming high and gets the perfect hit onto JW.
Okay, so the important part is if you can get a kill like that and fall off, then it's worth it. But he overstays his welcome, or if Fnatic re-peaks that, because there was 2 players there, then it's a problem. But still need to be careful here. KGB is the one down below this time. It's Zipnix on the A site because, of course, rifles aren't out. They don't play the defaults. They switch it up slightly.
Olaf got a really big advantage then. He forced Device to move back up to the B, which means if they want to, there's going to be less numbers over on A.
But unfortunately, that's not where the bomb's heading. It's Pronax who's your low HP player with it. They have got through mid, so they have split. This will be a 3-2 take. Flush is also behind it to catch KGB, but he gets one before Crims gets there, so that actually helps out of the rotate. It's all left to Dupree inside the site. Zipnix Karrigan coming from the backside. And does he get more? No. Flusha, how many bullets does he need to fire? But he still gets it. Compensates for the number of shots on the first guy with a 1-tap on the second. And Flusha's not letting off the gas pedal anytime soon.
Now, Zipnix walked around the corner and tried to check every single corner, but he didn't see the CT player, the T player just standing on the high ground. And that's going to be 13 rounds to 3. That's what Fnatic needed. It's the buy-up, and we get... this is even the first time we see the Bison being picked up in this entire tournament. Pronax is going to grab it.
KGB, though, there's your jump scout. They picked up 2 to work with on the CT side. He's already found Olaf.
Let's go back live. They're coming in onto the B site. Flusha watching the doors into the corner. It's going to be Dupree, now brought down by Pronax. They smoke up the window. It's a quick plant to come in. It is, however, 3-on-3 situation, and the 2 scouts there.
The question is, did they bother going for this or not? They've got 2 scouts, and they've already recovered an AK. This is a situation where a save's completely possible. Zipnix, however, has found a way all the way behind JW.
Now you want to go for it. They actually lost 1 player as well as leaving the game. It's up to Flusha, the last man left alive with the AK. Brings down KGB, but he can't stop Karrigan. So it's going to be the 4th round for TSM as we have some problems.
That's big. A nice eco to come back.
Did he die before he left?
Well, I didn't catch it. Just barely got that defused, but I didn't catch that.
Because that would have been big. What do we got in the history? So
it's Pronax that drops out of the server.
The main question was, did he die beforehand? Because if he didn't, then you basically turned 3 into 2, which made that a lot easier to do. Well, actually, technically, you turned 3 into 1 after that initial pick.
Yeah, and I don't have any indication inside console
Well,
when the pause was called out. So this may potentially cause drama because I actually didn't catch whether or not he had dropped in the round. And obviously it came down to a tight and narrow defuse. That potentially makes a big difference.
To our wonderful production guys who are out the back, please let us know inside our ears because it passed our eyes.
And keep in mind, I said if they lost the pistol, they would be hurting. Eco cancels that. So this does bring them back in. But again, this is up for debate.
Still a long run, even for TSM now. Okay, you got 4 rounds to 13. Yeah, you're playing on the CT side, but we've seen time and time again with the CTs, you lose 1, you lose 2 rounds, and all of a sudden you don't have the money. CTs are a lot more expensive. Protecting the world just seems to be a very costly affair.
Definitely. Absolutely. And again, it was important that Fnatic got the momentum on the CT side. A lot of people think it's the easier side. Sure, it is. Not so much on Dust2, but traditionally in CS it is. The problem is it's also extremely hard to play from behind on it because if you don't get money rolling, it's a lot more expensive, like you say.
Yeah, and the roll really hasn't begun for TSM. Like this was one round. It looks like we're actually having ourselves a reload. Okay, so we just heard in our ears that eBot's the thing that's giving us the issues. So we're going to have a reload. I don't know if this means we do the entire round again.
Well, technically, it would have been finished before it was done recording, so they could go to the next round, but the debate again is over.
Over that drop.
Exactly. And actually, I'm going to Twitch chat this time, of all places. They're never wrong, but I don't see any indication there either. A lot of people saying both sides is true.
I thought Twitch chat is meant to give us our perfect, like, our go-to, even with the predictions.
Yeah, the predictions all throughout the season.
All throughout the group
run.
stage. Like we had our CSGO bets, we had our other bets. It's like, well, okay, so who's going to really be coming out on top? And then Twitch chat was right more than the bets were. When all else fails, believe in the chat.
Disconnect before died, someone says, but again.
If he really did, then the players probably be debating it a hell of a lot more.
His position, though, wasn't over on B, so he still would have been playing from the backside on that retake.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to come in around.
He was the late in, if I remember correctly, so the bomb was already in place. Second man came from tunnels. I mean, it still makes a difference. I mean, we're speaking theory at this point. Whether or not he would have gotten taken down on position.
We can see what round we're coming in from. We're coming in from the 18th round anyway. So it will be the third round of the second half.
Well, that's because, of course, you're loading into the previous eBot file.
Yep.
And that's where it stopped recording. So when you restart the server, you can still recover the data log and put it directly in. That doesn't necessarily it doesn't mean that it cannot be medic. They can actually still retract that if they wanted to with the admin's control of eBot. But, again, that's where the recording would have stopped.
Yeah.
So until we get an indication from the admins.
Yeah. Well, we're still missing one of the players. So Fnatic is still missing.
Yeah,
okay.
no one's out of their chairs yet either, so I imagine that it's been agreed upon. It's just a matter of, again, getting Pronax back in and eBot to stop being so temperamental.
Looks like we're going to restart the server again. I don't know if the guys want to go to a break or not, but I know the players, it's just even the momentum break you want to be seeing. Fnatic, they're going to be feeling good at the moment. Do you want to give TSM this time to, I don't know if you're really going to recoup yourself here in this map?
I mean, again, yesterday they did have a lot of momentum going, and they actually took a timeout, if I remember correctly, against NIP to talk about the composure and talk about the setups, and they knew that they had to basically be inch perfect. There was a chance, but this is, I mean, Fnatic's looking, first off, I said it, they're playing with aggression. They're playing with almost anger and disappointment and revenge from losing that first map. The aggression in middle, flushes not being even forgiving in the least. It's not as likely you're going to start to surmount that many rounds against a team like Fnatic. I mean, again, I said before the break, if TSM, and the key part of it was if TSM can play like they are, they have a chance to be world #1. But there's a reason why Fnatic already is. And it's because in these situations, they're proven time and time again to not only play from behind in series, but control leads like this quite efficiently.
Yeah, it was a question Rachel actually asked when she came in. Like, you've been on this stage so many times. Like, what advice did you want to give to TSM? Which was meant to be a troll question, I think. But either way, they
I know, I was totally hoping Devilwalk was just going to look at it and go, lose.
lose. Yeah, just
That's the only advice I have.
let the crowd affect you as they just cheer for us and not for you, kind of thing. But wasn't the case. But yeah, Fnatic, yeah, you're right. They're tried and tested under these conditions. And TSM, like, that's what everyone was wondering. Like, was it going to be the dream come true for them just to move through the entire upper bracket, not a single map lost, and just take the entire LAN final and claim that #1 position, finally?
Well, I mean, yesterday we saw, there was the interview on HLTV with Device who said, we broke two curses today. One is they finally made it to a final, and two is they didn't choke. But keep in mind, I mean, they still haven't won a tournament. That's still the ultimate that you want to, the curse you want to break. Forget how you do it. But we will take a short break. Admins are in the process of trying to get the server back under control and making the final decision, and we'll be back as soon as that's been made.
Welcome back, everybody, here as we have sorted out our problems. And we're able to get ourselves back into the game. So 18th round is where we kick off, 13-4, still the advantage going the way of Fnatic.
So, yeah, so exactly. So the round is awarded to TSM. So they get the eco to get back into it, pick up an M4 as well onto Xyp9x. Kerrigan has the MP9 to work with, MP4, I'm crossing up everything. M4A1 for Cajun. So 2 rifles recovered, 2 AKs bought up, and a very broken Fnatic side. Ronak says to spot the cross. They do actually send 2 over. Device Dupree head toward B. And look at this early A push right now from TSM. They'll fall in support, but they need to watch out. Close proximity, and it's a process of elimination. Device gets flashed off. He can't support. A's going to be the take, and Xyp9x has to hit it. Never mind, Kerrigan already has. There's Xyp9x to contribute, make it 2, and very low HP. He'll find the 3rd, flawless.
Very quick round for TSM. It was also that nade that was thrown up from the mid doors up onto catwalk approach, and that took out half of the life of the Fnatic players. But they knew it was kind of like a YOLO round. You get yourself in, maybe you find 1 or 2 frags. More importantly, they just wanted the bomb plant in this. Couldn't get it, except the fact you've still got a large amount of rounds up your sleeve, 8 in fact, and you only need 3 more rounds to force this to our 3rd map, and that'll be overpass.
I mean, the series gets tricky after this because Fnatic, this is the best chance for TSM to close it, and Fnatic are already in the lead on it, so this could potentially go the distance if we get beyond this. Flasha tries to go through the smoke again. Dupree's the one that goes back, and Olaf's already found Xyp9x this time. That's your swing player. This opens mid. Olaf's gone through it.
Yeah, Device still playing from the doors on this B side. He's actually going to lose his teammate Dupree in the window, and Olaf, they're going big. The B side, it belongs to him, but the bomb isn't ready to go down. Luckily for them, Kerrigan's on the wrong side of the map, and okay, he's got at least 1 weapon that he can play from the range.
That's how fragile, though, TSM is. Again, yesterday, with that big comeback against NiP, it was the fact that Xyp9x could stay alive and support Cajun B. He drops in middle, and it opens up everything. Not only that, Olaf pushes forward. They go for the aggressive peek from window, and Crims is already there holding the angle and catches them off for it. Yeah, so that opening pick changed absolutely the whole entire complexion of any possibility for TSM to come back into it.
I think, yeah, Crims is fully aware of where Kerrigan is, especially now that he's killed him. So Kerrigan can at least take a couple of these weapons off Fnatic. The economy, not really that great for Fnatic, so all these rifles do still count. But you're going to be 14 rounds to 5. That's your major advantage here.
Yeah, exactly. You've got not only lots of time to recover economy, you only need 2 rounds to do it.
Yep. So they hold the 3 AKs, they don't take the risk up against Kerrigan, and it's a full buyout from TSM. How quick? Cajun B and Device, they want these AWPs, but one of them is a glass cannon. Cajun B, no armor on him.
And he's the one that's actually been the hotter of the 2 on this side. Not to mention, okay, so he actually was further over. Sorry, I thought Dupree had the spawn where I thought Cajun B was, which meant he would have had to go a lot further to get over to A, but they do go for this mid or early A push. Kerrigan's up there, the flash comes out, Cajun dodges it, but Kerrigan gets taken down. That's an AK with armor, and Cajun has to fall all the way back. That means Xyp9x can't rotate how he normally does. They have to compensate for it.
This AWP of Cajun B has got to do some serious work. If he can hold this long A, because that's where Fnatic is looking like they want to go, or maybe not. Different plans going to be enacted as Device picks off Flusher in the mid. So things are leveled up. TSM try and play this range game. They would actually love Fnatic to come towards that long A at the moment, because if they do, then they've got Device as well as Cajun B getting a good crossfire. But Device is giving him the information. Watch that cat approach. The flash is coming to mid, just try and force Device back a little bit further. But no full commitment to one side just yet. We do still have that floater of Olaf. But that doesn't really tell us much. They can still go multiple ways, but Dupree's the man that could cause some problems.
Nice
Device
pick by
already gets the pill on Crims. JW waiting for him, and Dupree will drop.
That actually forces Device back off middle despite getting that pick, so the defense has to thin out massively. And Pronax might catch him before he gets into position. He does. He lurks all the way through. And now Zipsix and Cajun B are on their horses to go across. Smoke in mid. That gives JW the movement he needs. Zipnix does find Pronax, but they've got to be aware the bomb's not there, and Olaf found Cajun B. So we're going to be on match point here if Zipnix can't pull off an absolute miracle.
Man, it's like a tug of war between the two sides. You get a kill over on B, you think it's over there. Zipnix walking straight past the double doors, so he didn't see the Fnatic player switching up the cap, but he does kill off JW. But it's Olaf on top of Zipnix. That bomb very exposed on the outside, so Zipnix kind of needs to win the battle first. Olaf has a peek. Zipnix knows where he is, but who's going to get the first shot off? Starts the defuse on the very exposed corner. He's running out of time, and that defuse, Olaf the time, 2 seconds, and Olaf will get the kill. 14 rounds to 5, Fnatic. They 15 rounds to 5. They keep TSM out, and they've got 10 map points.
They may not even need that many because look at the economy for TSM. They go right to 2 Deagles, Device, Dupree. Does give them range to work with on that particular pistol, but M4, only one of them. That's going to be for Zipnix and Fnatic. This was a heck of a performance so far. And again, not done, but Nails just sitting on the edge of the coffin, and the hammer's pretty much being swung down, or is it? Zipnix responds. Perhaps there's a little life in that corpse because he finds 2.
That was a very aggro push. They just ran 2 straight through the smoke on long doors, and the result being the fact that now Fnatic down 2 players, but you got 2 AKs in the hands of TSM, so they've got to worry about these rifles for the CTs. JW's trying to play the smoke game. Yeah, he saw Device just around the corner. You can instantly assume too the Cajun B. Yeah, he's assuming it, tries to control the spray, can't get the kill. Cajun B does drop down to 58, but it's those AKs that are working for him.
That's the big thing, so picking up 2 now. Dupree still has this Deagle. This forces Fnatic all the way back off of it. Kerrigan's in a decent position to catch them on that rotation. Cajun B's already leading off, but they're still split. If they can find a pick, if Olaf can find a pick, there's still a chance that Flusha can go back, but 38 seconds, they are slowly losing that time advantage. Although TSM's grabbing in on this. Kerrigan wants to rotate around. Zipnix comes up close. Olaf hasn't peeked out, so they haven't found him just yet. And he actually is going to find out on Kerrigan. This might force TSM's hand. There's still a chance for Flusha to get. Now they find him. Okay, Cajun, don't over-rotate. This is the big point right now.
You'll see the smoke, especially getting a glimpse of Flush through that corner of the smoke. Flush is still going to get the bomb plant down. And they are all injured. Throws out the nade. It's going to bounce back over. Everyone below almost 50 HP. They're running out, and Flusha going to find one. Look for the second. Cajun B dropping. Holds the ammo, but it's not enough in the magazine left anymore. Dupree jumps up. He'll get the defuse, but that was a lot harder for TSM than they really thought it was going to be.
Flusha, man. What a menace he is today. Get the round no less, but again, you want to start building a comeback. We're on match point already, so let's not get it too far ahead, but you want to start building a comeback. You do it with efficiency. You do it with money. You just lost 4 players. Fnatic will force up. There's no reason not to. They're in decent position to do it, so Olaf brings out the AK. 2 Galil's already bought up, and there'll actually be a 3rd AK going out for Flusha. And actually, JW, okay, so Mac 10 for him. Didn't have a whole lot of money. This will give him some potential kill reward, but again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't carry over one map or one round and we're done.
Yeah, you're not really playing the economy game. You're just waiting between buy rounds. The only goal at the moment is to basically win. And here they come. JW in through the middle. Flush is already going to be dropped by Dupree, and Device is capable of holding the mid. They've got a great crossfire. Zipnix actually helping Device out, just shooting through the smoke. And Fnatic, it looks like they're going to lose another round. Olaf, while he's had a great presence of mind over on the B side, he's going to get killed off by Dupree. Very efficient. Not a single rifle lost.
Yesterday it was Cajun B and Zipnix who had to be strong. Based on Fnatic's tendencies so far, they look to be pressing mid and splitting to B. That means Device and Dupree now have to be the guys to step up. Nip tried them a few times yesterday, and they actually had insight crossfires. So well within the B site, giving up middle that shut them down. A little bit different today. Device actually is playing out in that mid position. Zipnix is a little more passive. We'll see if they slowly adapt and get them closer to the bomb site, but there's not a whole lot of time to play with and trying to figure out Fnatic. You've just got to get it right from the get-go at this point.
Fnatic going to go on this run. They initially brought everybody over to that B side, but now they move as quickly as they can. Again, this is one of these get the plant down kind of moments. Zipnik's going to hold them back with both grenade as well as Molotov. So catwalk not really an option for at least another 20 seconds. It's even a pretty hard option anyway. Cage and B on that site with the M4. And getting in's really difficult. And the rotation can come nice and quick too. Another smoke. More delaying for Fnatic's push.
They're more than happy to sit back and group up, though. Again, Glock train is going to be the approach, and they've got all the time in the world when you're going to rush in that fast.
And look at Kerrigan's position too. He's so ready to come back to the A side. It means he can have the battle up against Olaf, but still help out the rest of his team.
Exactly.
We're running out of time. 35 seconds on the clock.
Well, again, though, Glock train rushing in, you really only need 15 seconds tops.
Well,
Zipniks, though, there it is. They're going to mow them apart. Good hold and patience from TSM. They didn't over-rotate on this and give up any ground, and that's flawless. Now they start to build the economy.
And holding every single rifle, which means you don't have to spend anything apart from armor and nades. And in fact, they're actually going to switch out. They do decide to buy up, so we get the double orbs for Device as well as Cage and B on the buy around of Fnatic. Obviously, well, you are with your back up against the wall. You want every advantage you can get. And double orb will be it.
Question is, though, by giving Device, gives him the opportunity to hold that first angle at mid. If he starts to get overwhelmed, as I said, if Fnatic does want to take that fight in that position, then he has to hit pretty much every shot as they round the corner, as he tries to retreat slowly back toward the B site, whereas a rifle in that situation, in that exact position, might be a little bit better off. So, yes, this was the effective play for them yesterday. It just puts more pressure on the Device's accuracy. In fact, they're going to swap it. They're going to rotate him out and let Dupree come back out with the rifle.
Yeah, it just gave him the initial look to watch towards Cat to see if Fnatic was going to push out quickly into the catwalk or maybe get that initial frag as Fnatic are indecisive in the mid.
And that's the dead right call, because now he just has an alleyway to shoot into in the B tunnels, and with the op on the box, super powerful. Nice nade to go
Actually,
out.
it doesn't do as much damage as you would have thought. Went between Fnatic, but only Pronex and JW the ones who are injured.
And Dupree's waiting for the flash. Cajun is slowly falling back off this.
Wow, look at him fly.
He's got to get quicker, though. Those smokes will hold him off. Zipniks is up above, so he'll be able to support, but they have to do this perfectly again, and he already finds one.
Yeah, but they're looking for the plant down. Pronax, Zipniks feels it, and he's going to just jump out with a pistol. Great round from TSM. They have got all the momentum they want to on this CT side. There's still, there's not much money for Fnatic.
But again, it's one slip up. Yes, they showed yesterday they can do this, but they had rounds to work with against NIP. This is similar setup. This is similar support play, similar team tactics. But again, it's one slip up, one missed shot, one whiff, one step too far overexposed on your peak. You go down, suddenly your second player's left open to too many angles. It's still a really tall order right now for TSM.
It is. It is. And, well, Fnatic, can they do any level of damage? Not going to do economical damage now to TSM. They're looking fine. Very, very secure. All Fnatic want to do is potentially grab a rifle, save it. If you can get the plant down, great for that too.
And a whole different approach. We haven't actually seen this approach directly on how to take A against TSM because it's all been cat pressure so far.
And the approach, like it's given up for a reason. They flash to start with, but Carrigan also with his. He's going to fall back. He'll give him long. Then again, maybe with the Molotov, JW. He managed to get himself all the way up behind him, but then again, Zipniks doing the work. JW needs to come and help out the teammates, or can he? Zipniks still holding with that pistol. He's got one. Can he finish off a second? Yes, he can with Flusher. That's big. JW gets shut down by Dupree on the back end.
Oh, that could have been in. Again, it was just pistols, but they overwhelmed the two players. Long Kerrigan drops soon. KGB got caught by JW because in that position there was no one to watch Cat. So he gets down. KGB goes down. They can pinch on these two long players. But Zipniks again, talk about stepping up. So now they're into double digits. But you got double ups on both sides.
Yep. Now it's pick time. Olaf goes for the peek. Tries to wait as long as he can inside the fire. Can't get the tag on the CT defenders. He looks like he'll have the audacity to peek twice.
And this is back to the default now. Although slight change, not a CT rotation. They're trying to pinch. This is a funnel. They're giving up A to do this just strictly because, so Zipniks pushed Cat. What that does is with Kerrigan already up long, there's no access to the A site. So as Zipniks pushes, Cajun B goes down into CT to support mid just in case they go there. If Zipniks goes down, Cajun B falls back. In fact, he doesn't even go down. He falls back, Cajun B falls back as well. Now they're back to holding A. it's a perfect play. If Zipnix is going to go, KGMB's useless just standing there. He's waiting for the play to happen. So instead, he makes his position relevant. That's really good rotations right there.
Well, I just got a glimpse of two of the Fnatic players on that cat. Fnatic also are looking at him with no weapons up. And no real commitment to any of the sites so far. Still TSM with all players up. Device and Pronex, the only two injured. 33 seconds left on that clock. Fnatic. This isn't like the pistol round where you need 15 seconds. You still need to come in. The smoke, the going through upper dark is almost impossible. You got that AWP waiting for him. It's Device who wants to hit, and you can see him. They start to walk through. Number one, Dupree from above. Device with a second. And this push has completely failed from Fnatic as TSM now take the 11th round for themselves. And they are slowly bringing this back and getting closer to overtime. It's still four map points for Fnatic.
And you almost forget about Device and Dupree in a lot of these cases because there's been so much A presence. We've been talking up the A play from TSM, but sometimes inexperienced players are, they go kind of quiet. They don't see a lot of action. They get caught off guard by it. They're not ready when it does happen. They're both stood perfectly true there. So both sides looking comfortable. Now they have an opening pick. That's massive. And Kerrigan's already extremely low as well. This forces them back. Yeah, now we've got big problems.
Yeah, KGB got to get back into cover with that rifle, that AWP. Back behind the boxes, but you've already made the opening on A, and they're forcing the rotation to come. But Fnatic, they've been doing this time and time again. You fake on one, then you switch to the other. You fake on that, you switch on back.
And they're switching back the long way, which may be advantageous.
It's going to be dangerous if they don't understand where Dupree is.
Well, that's the thing.
Dupree could cause a major problem for them. He's trying to watch if they come through cat or through mid.
But he needs to make the call if he wants to get more aggressive based on timing, or if he wants to sit and let them pass behind him, because if he doesn't spot it, then they get a bomb plant. They're inside B. That's a hard retake.
It's the second dummy again. They're going to use Pronax to make some noise and try and force Device off the A site. And then go in. But Dupree, because he's able to watch that upper dark area, then the bait doesn't work. Like, you make some noise thinking maybe someone's sitting inside the B site, worrying and sweating, but it's not the case. The only upside is the fact they managed to pull Dupree all the way back onto the site so he can't quickly bring in help through through Cat. But here they come. KGB, can he get the initial hit? Still holding on to it. The Molotov's trying to force him back, and they're going to bring down KGB. Device with a tag through the smoke. But it's just him as well as Dupree, and they do not want to do this.
That incendiary dig went a
they
little
have
bit too
to.
deep. It went. Yeah, you have to play for it. You can't save. It's a match point, but that incendiary actually could have done damage to the second last player. It went a little bit deep. JW tries to fall back to long, and he actually catches out Dupree. This is all on Device. If he finds that, it might have had a chance. It's done.
16 rounds 11. Fnatic will take map number 2, which means we're going to overpass. It is still TSM with the advantage, but, well, Fnatic, for good or for worse, they do have a reputation on overpass.
And Olaf's a menace on it. We'll get to that in a second, but even if that's at 14 rounds and that's your 15th, the way they're playing, sure, it's one round given up. It's not likely Fnatic's suddenly going to find 2 in a row. But again, you're on match point, 1 slip up. There it was. You get caught at long. You drop 2 players early. Not much. And Fnatic was actually quite good about it because the rotations came super early. TSM was already ready to go. Dupree was already pushed through the tunnels and getting ready to control the mid. So what does Fnatic do? They just fall back and say, careful, guys. You can't rotate that quickly because we'll catch you off the other way. So then it spreads them back out, and then they just took the site with numbers.
Well, let's see how they're going to go on the next map. But before we do, we'll head over to the analyst desk to get their thoughts.
Well, thanks a lot there, guys. And, well, I think we'll start with you, shall we not? Talk about the commentators' curse.
He's been earning his money here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Natu said, okay, like, watch out, KGB is going to be like a really big impact. But, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, didn't specify for which team, though.
Oh, yes. He's using my old theory where actually, I always used to say that actually my boy Fifth Laren was pretty much like, he used to carry teams, you know, the other team. he used to keep them in the game, you know, yeah. Same logic.
I like it. It's Thorin's law.
Yeah, he's actually taken after me. I'm robbing off on a bit. The trick is, if you're wrong, you just like use all sorts of spurious logic and go in any direction to explain why actually you're still right. You don't ever admit that you're wrong.
At least from the two of us, I'm the one that acknowledges that I get it wrong sometimes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Thorin's
Do you remember who else made some predictions before this map, guys? You remember the guy who was like, I think actually Fnatic's going to win this one, and, you know, it'll be different from the first map. Now, what I didn't say was that, you know that sign that was in the crowd there that said, like, Flusher equals hacker?
Yeah.
Like, that is actually accurate. Like, he was actually, that was insane. He did the same thing on the Mirage in the first part. What's crazy is on both maps, it was the same thing. The first sort of 10 rounds or so, he was utterly insane.
Yeah.
I mean, but weirdly, on both maps, he actually cooled off towards the end. I think the big difference in the Fnatic lineup, because Olaf did well again, Flusher did really well, it was JW this time. He really got his level up on this map.
Yeah.
Again, I said it wouldn't be 2 maps in a row he played badly.
Yeah, we thought he might do, though, and obviously JW is a very accomplished player on this map now. So who stood out for you?
Actually, I wanted to point out, for me, down the stretch in this matchup, I feel like Crims was a bit missing on both occasions, on Mirage and on Dust2. So I think he's going to be, I mean, Flasha has really carried a lot of Crim's weight in terms of getting those frags and stuff. And I think it feels like Crims is the one that needs to step it up for Fnatic, because, I mean, TSM, there's a lot of fighting spirit in those guys. It is quite uncharacteristic for them.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. So are we starting to witness a real change for TSM? Because obviously we always talk about choking. They've been associated with choking. You know, it's becoming a bit of a meme now. It's getting done to death. But actually they should have been done and dusted at half time. It's 12-3.
Both games, they've started out real slow both times, but they've managed to get back into it as sort of the middle part of the first map comes around. So, yeah, I mean, I do think they've definitely got a lot more fight in them. I mean, yesterday, obviously, was it yesterday? Which was the map? It might have been the first series they played against Fnatic. They had like a big comeback in it, so I think overall we're seeing a little bit of a different change. We're also seeing at the same time some of the same. That's the thing. It was never that they had to stop choking. Like if they just stop choking, then everything will be fine. It's that they just choked so much that that's what was killing them. They can still afford to choke every now and then. It's just that in certain key moments they have to keep it together a little bit, because it's not like every top team is super composed and they never mess up and never do a mistake. I mean, we saw Fnatic make some crazy mistakes in that Mirage game, like that 1v1. So you can make mistakes. It's just their problem was it'd become like endemic. It always just happened, you know. Whereas now I think they're getting it together enough to make it competitive.
So we're going to go to another map, of course. It's going to be Overpass next. So, I mean, Fnatic must be feeling good about this. This is a map that they've kind of made their own, right?
This is the weirdest map in the whole pool for me, because neither team I think of as an Overpass team. They don't tend to really play it at the moment, these two teams. It was a while ago when Fnatic used to, on the old Overpass when it first came out, they used to be really good on it, but they were so good on all the other maps that actually it was one of those where you wouldn't notice that they were strong on it, because they only played it some like 4 or 5 times back then, because they had 4 other maps they liked to play instead. So this is the most up in the air one. Like actually here, this is ideal for where we're at in the series right now, where TSM's at championship point, they can win with one more map. But if Fnatic win it, it pushes it to that epic last game, because this is, after we've got Dust2 out of the way, this is the most 50-50 map here. It's really hard to know who this even favors.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic was very good on Overpass before, so I don't think we've seen that much of them lately on it.
They very rarely play
after the changes. But I don't think TSM is that bad on it either. They've played it quite a few times. So I think of the maps here, I think this and Inferno are the most equal ones in terms of how you look at them before statistically.
And the thing is, TSM actually on this map, I now remember, at Star Series, had a crucial loss. I think that was the 3rd map that they lost to Na'Vi, actually, where they were upset at the very first match of the tournament. So I wonder if it's even something that they're confident in themselves. Now, they don't, again, as I mentioned before, this map before, remember, they don't have to win this map. They can still be alive and stick to that last map. So actually, I'm kind of feeling Fnatic again for this one.
Okay, interesting. Natu, your thoughts on who's going to win and why, maybe?
Cajun B?
Yeah, Cajun B's going to take it. I'm still going to stick with TSM. I don't know. It's more of a gut feeling than anything. Okay. There's no...
You're going to follow Sadikis' lead there, you know, TSM all the way. 2-man bandwagon now? Okay.
I don't have a
possibly the best team ever to play, guys. Shall we start saying that? Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't go down that road. I would.
Do you want to come over and just shake your head?
Okay. I'm a short order cook. I'm just quick roasting him, you know.
But no, I mean, I think TSM can win, but I got to say it's one of these interesting positions because of Fnatic's experience. They are a championship-winning team. TSM have never been. They're now in uncharted territory, and you know, Fnatic, they're going to be feeling pretty confident. Like, hey, this is now all we're going to do is win 2 maps against the team that we can beat for fun on our day. So TSM are the ones that have really got to get over the finish line, and perhaps with that, you know, trophy sort of glistening in the distance, it's all very tantalizingly close. Maybe they can't get there. Maybe the pressure's really on TSM here.
Yeah, but eventually it has to happen. I mean, it just has to happen for them.
They've been thinking the same thing.
There's many a team that thinks it has to happen. Yeah. You've got to make it happen. Well, look, guys, thanks a lot for your thoughts there, and we'll certainly come back.
That's also what my girlfriend always says, but doesn't always happen for her either. It's how you finish that matters.
All right, cool. You know. All right, another fist bump earned.
You're the worst. Right, okay. Look, great talking to you guys. Thanks for your thoughts and an update on your love life, Duncan.
It has to happen.
And we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we are gonna have Overpass, Fnatic, and TSM in the grand finals. Don't go too far.
There's a better chance for them than perhaps Nip had yesterday that they can hold it. What a shot through the smoke.
Fire, he walked through P90 spray, he walked through with flash, couldn't see anything. JW battling from on long A, he's still trying to look behind him, waiting for that extra play to push up, and wants Carrigan. The bomb plant will go down here, so I suppose TSM in a way they do get something out of it.
Smoke, JW is going to be extremely careful. He actually wants to get close to it in case they try and flash through as well, but again, that's a bounce flash. That doesn't go that deep, or does it? It goes right past him! So it actually does go deep enough, but he catches both as a result. He just has to spray on the choke point. Pronax now finds KGB, and there's no openings right now for TSM.
The play turns his back for the flash at the same time. It's the flash going on to TSM. They bring down KGB. Olaf's got 6 bullets left inside that clip. It's enough to kill off Device.
JW would be the man that has to do a whole lot more work than he would want to in that case, and here they come. They're already in.
Yeah, Flusher already able to take out one, playing for the boxes, delaying out the plant. The flash will be there, buying him the space to move up again. Finding 2, finding 3. The nade coming in 2 with the help from Pronax. He does the long as well.
Perfect.
And Fnatic, Olaf will kill off Carrigan, so there's no flanker anymore in Flusher. Oh, wow. Okay.
To catch KGB, but he gets one before Crims gets there, so that actually helps out of the rotate. It's all left to Dupree inside the site. Zipnik's Kerrigan coming from the backside. And does he get more? No. Flusha. How many bullets does he need to fire? But he still gets